What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and it's iRacing new season time. It's the 2023 Season 2 update, which we're going to go ahead and recap the release notes in this video really quick-like. First of all, there's some UI changes. The new UI is still the new UI, so yeah. A crap ton of cars have received AI and AI updates, as usual. There's also been the usual host of audio effects and visual effects updates that really amount to, well, it's slightly different. Hundreds of iRacing setups have been updated, which is as to be expected because fixed setup racing. But anyways, I think there's really only one major feature in this update. Well, this is a very lightweight build for iRacing, partly because we know that there's something coming on down the pipes that's going to soil everyone's undies and virtual fire suits and cars and everything, otherwise known as rain, which presumably is taking a lot of resources from updating things. But that feature is an updated ABS model that's been applied to a few of the cars, in particular the GT3 cars, and notably the GT4 cars don't have this yet. However, they are slated to be some of the earliest cars to get this update in the future. What this means is ABS in iRacing actually works somewhat properly finally. Beforehand in iRacing you'd get little micro lockups and the tire would lock and then unlock and unlock and lock and lock and unlock and lock and unlock and all that stuff back and forth, which would basically just kill the tires and kind of defeated the whole point of ABS in the first place. It worked more like a road car rather than like a go fast thing. And that's been changed, so you can now actually use the ABS in the GT3 cars and the other cars that feature this update without melting the tires in an instant. So that's a positive. And like I said, this build's a little light on features. However, there is some content that we'll go ahead and talk about here really quickly. First of all, there's the Renault Clio RSV, which I'm pretty sure is some form of virus. Because this is some sort of form of virus, I have no interest in it. Otherwise known as a front-wheel drive touring car. This just isn't my cup of tea, so I'm not interested in it. But it's one of those cars that has proven to be very popular within sim racing. Lots of people really like their front-wheel drive, tiny little touring cars, and that it hasn't been a thing in iRacing. So I can't complain about this addition here. The late model has been replaced. This is the non-super late model, the regular late model. That car, the old car, has been wiped from the face of the surface of iRacing and replaced with this new car, which is a Cars Tour spec late model. So it's something different. I'm not an expert on this stuff. All I can tell you is driving the thing around on some of the short tracks. This thing is an absolute riot. It is hooked up, ready to go. It is a fun little thing. Unfortunately, I will say, this car does sit at a point in the iRacing ecosystem where the official series are either bloodbaths or just no cautions, and like getting it all to work out right has just proved to be really difficult, which is why these cars are sadly not as popular as they used to be way back when late models were actually one of the most popular cars within iRacing. However, that said, I would highly recommend, if you're into this and you have the car, or if you get the car, give the AI a go, because the AI short track racing experience is far better than anything that you're going to get from the iRacing online racing, which is really bizarre to say. The only thing that's missing, though, is like the random guy with the southern accent ranting and yelling over the radio, because that would make the experience just that much more realistic. And then lastly, in terms of cars, a free car for everyone. Yay! Although, I'm a little meh on this one. The Ray FF1600. iRacing finally has a Formula Ford after all these years. And that's a good thing, because Formula Ford is a car that should be an absolute riot to drive. And it is actually a fun car to drive. And it's a very popular series around the world. It makes perfectly good sense. However, at this stage, I just don't know why iRacing added this car, and it just fits into this slot where it's like the Skip Barber, but not the Skip Barber. It's like the Formula V, but not the Formula V. You got the MX-5 and that stuff over there, and the Spec Racer Ford. Like, how many of these cars do we really need? And I say this as someone who's very much a fan of these cars. So it's definitely a bit of a, I don't know though. But the good news is this is free, so you're not going to have to bust out your wallet again for this one, as well as the fact that I think this car is just going to be an absolute riot. It's a blast, especially in higher speed corners, backing the thing into the corner without any fear of like instant death spins or anything like that is just, it brings a smile to my face. I like cars that you can drive with your feet, and this is a car you get to drive with your feet. And lastly, there is one circuit in this update gonna need to bust out your wallet for again as well, and that being Harath, which used to host the Spanish Grand Prix way back when, and then it went to the boring circuit in Spain. This track is a thumbs up in my book. I just really like this layout. It suits almost every car. In the fast cars, it's more of a challenging, technical, tight, twisty layout, whereas in the small cars, it is more of a wide open, balls to the walls type track. And you know, it is a little bit small for some of the more modern cars out there, the open wheelers and stuff like that, but it does fit a wide variety, and I think it'll be very popular within iRacing for a very long time. I'll also go ahead and mention track limits, total non-factor, total non-issue. If you get an off-track here, you went properly like off-track. So yeah, they let you use the green stuff more or less to almost your heart's content. But anyways, that's the iRacing Season 2 2023 build update as fast as I could. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.